This question, Minister, on behalf of Deputy Thomas Pringle, who has followed up this at every available opportunity and just unfortunately can't be here at this moment. So my question is, what plans do you have to make the defective homes redress scheme accessible for the difficult cases where it is more feasible to build a replacement home beside a defective property and then demolish it rather than on the footprint? So I'll come back into the details of what I mean by those exceptional cases.
And as the Deputy is aware, the defective concrete blocks grant scheme is neither a redress nor a compensation scheme, rather a grant scheme of last resort to enable affected homeowners to remediate homes. The scheme facilitates the remediation of existing houses that have been damaged by the use of defective concrete blocks. Construction of new separate edition houses is not grant funded. The 2022 DCB Act, as set down by the Oireachtas, provides that exempt development status shall automatically apply to remediation works approved under the grant scheme, subject to certain provisions set out in Section 28 of the Act. Importantly, remediation works can only be exempt where, on completion of remediation works, the dwelling house is not inconsistent with or materially different from the appearance and character of the original dwelling. So it's like for like. However, there is flexibility in terms of footprint of the rebuild, and exact rebuild on the footprint is not required, subject to compliance with building regulations and compliance with planning. In such scenarios, homeowners should engage with their competent building professional to consider the possible impact on any energy retrofit work that they may be considering and the effect of each different footprint may have on such works and or associated grants. But I know the question that Deputy Pringle was tabling really is in relation to housing adaptation for a disabled child. So as I understand from the question, that the existing defective house had those housing adaptations and that the homeowner wishes to replicate those features in the new build.
Goes some way to the problem, but not quite. It arises from a direct letter that he got, and other people are in this position. I won't mention names, Sharon, but they have a child who's 9 with a severe disability, can't walk. They have met with the Senator Nicky Bradley, the ambassador, and they've tried all of that. What they're asking for is the legislation to be amended to allow, and I know you've quoted policy to me, but I'm quoting actually an exceptional situation, and it's very difficult, and I just in the last 30 seconds read it out, for the legislation to be changed to allow families with extenuating circumstances, like this family, that they have the option. We're talking about extenuating circumstances here now. We're not talking about opening the floodgates, to build side by side with the property that's affected, because they have absolutely no other alternative. They can't go into a caravan. There's no available property for rent, and we know that from the earlier Simon report that we read out, and we have the numbers here of the properties available for rent throughout the county. They're minimal. So we're talking about extenuating circumstances, and to change the policy or amend the legislation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now, Deputy, and certainly there have been a number of cases like this, and you can't. Every case is not. They're not uniform. Every homeowner has different issues, and as I said in the original response, the replication of the house is a like-for-like dwelling. However, given that there are significant issues here with a young disabled child, I would ask that the Deputy would bring the issues forward to the Department, and again we can look at what ways it might be addressed. I understood from the question that the disabled adaptations within the existing house already existed in such case that replicating the house would be like for like exactly the features that were in the original house.
Thank you. I see where the misunderstanding is, but the actual question is to build a replacement home beside a defective property, beside it. And so what you've read out, and it comes straight from the policy, you can't do that because the scheme is not allowed for that. And what we're asking on behalf of this family and other families is that there would be whatever amendment is necessary for extenuating circumstances. Now, I realise that this is difficult, but it's not anywhere near as difficult as to what this family are enduring. They can't go into a caravan. There's no place to rent. I know. They haven't. I know. And I know. But surely, at some stage, you've thought of this. You know, there's been 2 schemes. The scheme has changed, and so what consideration has been given to this? What study? What analysis? What number of people find themselves in these very difficult situations that's described as extenuating circumstances? That's what I'm asking. What has the department done? What's the solution here? Thank you.
And again, as I said, there is flexibility in terms of the footprint, and I think that's
it's side by side.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, no, but I don't want any more misunderstanding. The question is side by side. Thanks.
Okay, here, again, if the deputy would furnish the details to the department, we'll take a case look at it, if that's okay. That's probably the best way I could respond to it at this stage. But again, as the deputy has said, there are serious considerations here. And as I said previously, not every case is all 2 cases are alike. So again, we would appreciate if we can get the details of it, and then we can give consideration to it.
I'm sure Deputy Pringle will do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Garmod.